Hello everyone, it's Frank over here at Country Classics and Off-Road in Midlothian, Texas. Today we're working on a 6.7 liter Cummins. A gentleman that I know brought it to me and said it was leaking water, so I've already diagnosed it. It's a water pump. But while I'm here, just kind of showing you guys some things that I do. If you do these things yourself, there's some stuff you need to check while you're there that have nothing to do with the actual problem itself. So I know my business is classics and off-road, and this truck just so happens to be a 2010 Cummins, so I do work on newer stuff too. A lot of the principles are the same, in reality. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you know how the clutch fan comes off before you remove it. Generally, the easiest way to figure it out without looking online and trying to find an answer is crank your engine up. The direction that the fan turns is going to be the direction it needs to go to come off. It may be clockwise, it could be counterclockwise. Please understand, if you look it up and someone tells you, even a manual tells you, that it comes off counterclockwise, that may not be true. I've seen the same year model vehicles that had a different style clutch on them, and you spending 2 hours. I've seen someone spend 2 hours fighting a clutch fan. Simply, it needed to go the opposite direction. They will be tight. Be ready for a little bit of a fight with it. But that's okay. That's part of being a mechanic. That's how we get our busted knuckles, and it's part of the fun. So, anyways, while you're here, check that clutch. Make sure it spins freely. It's not froze up. Start with that. Once you're finished, move on to the next part. The next part is, if you have a serpentine belt, or really any other kind of belt, you want to test its tension and see how it feels. Is it stretched? Does it feel tight enough? From experience, generally what I do, always using a glove of course because it's so dirty, is I'll just grab the belt and I kind of pull it, and I know for the most part this one moves about 6 inches, which means it's not bad, but it's certainly weak. And we're going to replace it while we're here because there's a lot of work that goes into getting to this point. So while we're here, we're doing it. Also, if your belt has a tensioner, that's a great way to test the tensioner. Also, because you're pulling on it and looking. Inspect the belt, see if there's any cracks, and if you have cracks, replace the belt. Do yourself a favor and don't end up on the side of the road. Also, on the tensioner, sometimes I'll put a breaker bar on it and just kind of feel the tension. I know about how much one should have. They're all a little different. On a Cummins, it's going to be pretty tight. This one's weak again. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace the belt and the tensioner. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the tensioner, or excuse me, the belt real quick, because there's something else that I want to show you that you should be checking while you're here. And that is the bearings on all of the components. Unfortunately, sometimes bearings go out, and when they do, it's not good. It usually causes the belt to throw, or it messes the belt up. It can also damage other components. So there's a couple ways you can do it. My favorite is literally to just spin it. So right now it's the steering pump, or power steering pump. Feels smooth. I don't hear anything. We have an idler pulley at the top. I hear no noise. It's very smooth, which is good. Alternator, same thing. You can grab them and see if they have any play. Some components are going to have a little bit of play. Majority of them are going to be pretty tight. Again, listen for noise. And kind of, if you hear anything or you might feel something and you think, man, I don't know if that's right or not, there is something you can buy. I think everyone should have in their toolbox, and you're probably going to laugh when I show you. This is it. I know what you're thinking. Is that a stethoscope? Yes, it is a stethoscope. So these things can save you so much money. I can't tell you how many bad bearings I've diagnosed with these. It's real simple to use, very, very inexpensive. I think I paid $10 for this one. So it has a rod on it. Be very careful with it when you have it in your ears. You don't hit something that vibrates real hard. It can it won't harm your ear, but it'll make you think that it did. So all you do is put them on just like a doctor. Put them in your ears and take the end of it and you put it on, like say the bolt of the idler pulley, and spin it. and listen. If it sounds smooth, it's probably good. And that's generally what we do. So you can do that to all of the components. You can, on the alternator, you can stick it on the housing of the alternator and spin it. So the alternator, I literally hear nothing. It's so smooth. The idler pulley, it makes a little noise, but like I said, some of them just make a little noise. You'll know when you get to a bad one, it'll sound kind of like grinding or popping. And at that point, you know to replace it. So again, do yourself a favor, spend 10 bucks on one of these. Make sure you check all those components whenever you get to them. And believe me, you'll be a lot happier when you're driving down the road. You'll know, or you'll have less to worry about, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And it improves the dependability and or reliability of your vehicle. So anyways, everyone, have a wonderful day, and I hope you learned something from the video. Talk to y'all later.